Good afternoon, traders. Markets are still open. About a half an hour to go. Our traders have mostly left with the idea that chump change is left for today. And our initial call was 61 support. Try to buy that 61 zone with 58 stop. That was the breakout from the previous day's high. And any day high if we could take out the overnight high. Once that first bar came out strong and knocked out all of the stops, all the aggressive shorts, we felt the best trade was already underway, and obviously anybody that was in it, just ride your trailers, and anybody not in it, look to buy a pullback with the expectation that first logical targets were probably 72 to 75 zone, and then perhaps use 78 resistance for a little profit taking. 76.5 was a measured move, and as such we also thought that if we could get above that high, then anything went for the rest of the day. Zone to zone, we felt this was our breakout right here, and once above this, first primary box became, can we get to this 70 zone and above into the next box? If so, then obviously the next box becomes the key area. Basis this chart, that 76.5 was a retest, got a pennant that formed and took it out at lunch. There's been no appreciable pullback. Our thought today was if we got to that 78 to 80 zone, probably have done well, and anything above 82 is just an inertial push, something we were not expecting today. We felt 82 to 85 should be, although we could go higher, we felt that should be our natural resistance zone. And for the afternoon, we used the idea of an outlier at 68. So we said largely let's range trade the 70s. And that's the way most of our traders played it today, buying pullbacks and just going along with today's flow. This trend line, I started the morning with this trend line down here, a 3-point touch, 4-point touch, and just duplicated it to come up with this angle, and that's why this was a perfect first target this morning that we really liked. As make sure you're paid into that line. This 5-minute chart we thought was in play, came back into the red line, got the push at lunch, never any contra. That's why we were expecting perhaps this afternoon we could get a little drift back and some very choppy trading. This 83 is actually our next resistance target. We felt that this zone should hold us today. We felt anything above this 78 to 80 was just good fortune. T1 79.75, so anytime we can get the T1 in a 30-point plus move, you want to be careful thinking too much more than that. At least that was our opinion today. We really liked the 15-minute Globex chart. We thought this was just perfect support back here. Got into that 55 idea of the year open, and then the boys push. Month-end markup, we get this quiet zone right here at that 61, which we thought was a very perfect place to enter if you were an aggressive trader. We said most traders won't have the courage to do this, but bots certainly will, and we thought that was the right buy zone. And you can see how this is adhered to that 15-minute chart. Realistically, in a trend, there's nothing better than moving averages to help guide you with those trends. And we start with the premise of a 15-minute chart, our base chart with Globex. We're looking at something like a 30-minute chart, just pushing from this blue line, getting above that pink line, the red line. So we focus in an uptrend, we're focused on this blue line. As long as we're above it, the market is advancing, and this gives us our longer term perspective, that pink line. So at the open today, early today, at this 69 high pre-market, this is our first resistance. We've taken out this red arrow here, so usually I leave that in to remind myself that this is a breakout of that, and that is a flip zone. So that particular area normally will become very important as support until broken. So that's been our premise, that this area, this 55, is now flipped, and we're trying to move upwards if we can take out that initial high. And that's a big if. Nobody knows until hindsight, obviously. We looked at this chart early this morning and described this as our primary box basis this chart, and we said let's see what happens if and when we get up to this, because some may perceive this as a shoulder until proven otherwise. So obviously we double bottomed in here last week. We've had a bounce, and then today a very strong day, but this is, don't forget, this is month end, and usually this is when you'll get your month end markup right at the end of the month, and then much better buy opportunities down here. So while all those who are long and now claiming they're the biggest bulls in the world and whatever, a reminder, we don't make predictions as much as we try to find tradable ranges and then trade them with no care whether we are a bull or a bear. Our goal is to take something out of the market every day. So we're going to watch this going forward as an important idea. That was a double top, obviously. This is a double bottom. All we know is we're still inside that range. With the use of overnight leverage, we have been able to take out the prior day's high, goose it up about 12 points, and then squeeze through this fast down bar. And fast down bars, you can get a corresponding fast up, and that's what we've got today. So this box is something that we're going to keep a big eye on, and then obviously this next box right here, this will be the key box. Can we hold this box to come back and do some more work backwards? So that's my expectation today, that the high is probably in at this point, and if not, then certainly a marginal high above this, and we'd use this afternoon 82 to 85 as resistance if you're going to play short side for scalps against today's trend. All right, this is E. It's almost 4 o'clock. Hope you had a good one, and I hope this helps you learn a little more about what we look at when we go to identify tradable ideas. Have a good one.